Hello, my name is Laura Castillo. The date is Sunday, February 4th, 2018, and this video is going to be about bacterial identification, the motility testing. Now, motility is basically means to move around, and so when we do a motility test with bacteria, it's basically to see if the bacteria is able to move or propel itself around. So with this particular lab, we did this using two agar tubes. And with each tube, we labeled one of them S. epidermis, the other one E. coli. I did run into a couple of obstacles with this one. For one, here actually, I'll show you this. This is my E. coli one. The agar, it actually had, when I initially opened it to sterilize it with the flame, at the top of the E. coli tube there was a collection of agar there. It might have been the way I stored it. I think I stored them horizontally instead of upward. And so before I actually did this lab, I did kind of shake it down so that it all kind of collected down to the bottom. And I let it sit for a little bit because there were some bubbles. There's actually still some bubbles that never really came out. So anyway, that's one of the things I ran into. But since we're on the subject, this is the E. coli one. I did do this lab actually a couple days ago, and so these are not as fresh as I wanted them to be. But I didn't have a chance to do my video because a couple things came up. So anyways, so that was one of the issues that I ran into. The other one is, if you notice, these are my gloves. They're pretty big for me. And so these kind of got in the way when I was doing the stabbing of the paper clip. And so when I stabbed it down, it just kind of got in the way, and I think I felt like I was holding the paper clip, and I wasn't. I was really holding like a fold in the glove, and I kind of dropped it. And anyway, in the other one, the S. epidermis. So this one's not as clean as I wanted it to be, but it's kind of hard to tell now. But you can see some of the stabbing. Like, well, it's kind of hard to see, but there is a stab going this way, and then one that's like kind of this way. So this is just, my results were still clear enough for me to tell whether it was motile or not. And actually the S. epidermis was not motile. So it tested negative for motility. And the E. coli tested positive. This is actually a little bit easier to see. See how it's kind of all cloudiness. So you kind of see it. The stab went, I think, in this direction, and it kind of spread. But again, this has been kind of sitting for a while. And so those were my results. So E. coli was positive for motility, S. epidermis negative for motility. That is pretty much it for this video. This is a very interesting lab. Aside from the agar sitting at the top and the issue with my gloves, I think I came up with pretty good results then. It was really interesting to see the difference in how the bacteria moves throughout the agar versus, staying in place when it's negative for motility. But thank you very much. That's all I have to say for this video. See you next time.